Welcome back to part two of the best cities to live in Salt Lake City. So, I got five more to share with you, and let's jump right into them now. So, next up on the list is West Jordan. Would I move to West Jordan? Absolutely. I have a nephew that I helped purchase a home in West Jordan, and they really like living there. They have a huge shopping center there called Jordan Landing, which is, I believe, our biggest shopping area. It pretty much has every single thing that you're looking for. I'll show you that in a few minutes. But overall, West Jordan is really close to the airport. It gets less snow. Temperature wise, it gets a little warmer than some of the other cities. But overall, it's a great area. They're still building new construction homes, so you can get those. They have old homes. They have, homes built in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 50s. Like it seems like they have a really good mix of homes. um, it's probably one of the most diverse areas for ethnicities. Everything that has to do with people in general is going to be there, from old to young to single, married couples, everything. So here is West Jordan, where it's located. All right, so this is West Jordan highlighted here. You can see they still have available land all out to the west. The east side, all of this is pretty much built out. The main I guess the main driving force for most people that move to West Jordan is the fact that they can get a new construction home and then all of the shopping that you have available. And so this is Jordan Landing right here. It's right by a private airstrip. But as I scroll in, you have Walmart, you have Sam's Club, you have Dick's Sporting Goods, you got a Target, you got a Best Buy. You have one of my favorite places to get fast food, which is El Pollo Loco. If you haven't tried them, you should. It's really good. We just do a salad there with chopped chicken breast and then their creamy cilantro dressing. It's really yummy and it's pretty healthy for you. Overall, they have pretty healthy. They even have an Applebee's. I didn't even know they still existed, but one of my good friends in Nashville really likes Applebee's. So I give them crap about that all the time. They have a Waffle Love, just everything that you're looking for. Burlington, At Home, Lowe's, Kohl's, Chili's. They have a Cinemark movie theater. There's a fudge place over here that has pretty good fudge. Barnes and Nobles, Old Navy, Office Max. I think the Bath and Body Works, Nike outlet, or Ross. So there really isn't anything that you're missing. If I kept going, I could spend 10 minutes naming all the places, but I'll let you look that up. There are just a ton of restaurants and shopping that's here. So you're going to be going to Jordan Landing often in West Jordan, or it's about an 18-minute drive to West Jordan for us. So we go there all the time. And then once again, my nephew lives there, so we'll go and visit him as well. As far as getting to the airport, you would just take Bangor or Mountain View Quarter up to the airport. Salt Lake City is 20 minutes away. Airport's 20 minutes or less. It's a little bit further to go to Lehigh because you got to go 20 minutes to get to where I am to get to then Lehigh. So it's further to get to Lehigh from West Jordan. But West Jordan has a really good mix of home prices once again. And let's go into the review. They have it the 11,566 best place to live in America. Wow. Overall, a B, B minus public schools. Depends on which school you choose to go to. So that's something that we could look up together, or you can look up on your own. C plus for housing, B for good for families, B for jobs. As far as the family life goes, my nephew lives there. He has one child, and they really like there and say that it has a good feeling for him with his family. C, cost of living. A, outdoor activities. C plus, crime and safety. He would probably agree with that one. B for nightlife. A minus, diversity. B minus, weather. A minus, health and fitness, and B for commute. Commute's more like an A when we're looking at everything. It is a bigger city, so it's got 116,000 or more that currently live in it. The median home value more like in the 400 range, and you're really going to be spending 5 to 800,000 for a home in West Jordan. It's a little bit cheaper than South Jordan to live in West Jordan. Most diverse suburb in Utah, number 9. Most diverse place to live in Utah, number 22. And the best suburb for young professionals, number 33. So here's your crime and safety. As you can see, theft is really high, and even motor vehicle theft is pretty high there. And assault looks like it's closing in, still way below the national average. So that gives you an idea of West Jordan. We can talk more about it. You just got to reach out. But West Jordan is a great place for you to, when you're moving here, to consider, and then we kind of expand out. But when you reach out, we talk about the different cities, your lifestyle, what stuff you want to do. If you want to like walk to your coffee shops, then West Jordan may not be the greatest place to pick, which most of the cities on our list are not great for walkability prior to COVID, where people wanted to be walkable. But there are still people that want that. And if you do, we can talk about what are some of the best walkability cities. So that's kind of West Jordan in a nutshell. Next up is Riverton. Riverton is where we first landed when we moved here. Why did we pick Riverton? Well, my wife's job was in Riverton. It was literally 2 miles away from the place we picked, and they had a great townhome that we really liked in Riverton. So we scooped that up, and we lived there for almost a year, and then we decided that we wanted to move. And so I'll cover that more coming up if you stick around. But would I live in Riverton again? Absolutely. Riverton has some new construction, not a ton, since most of the land is built out. There's still some farms that could be sold and new construction. And then there's a few little pockets here or there where they're building new homes. But most of the land is built out in Riverton. It's a great area. It's right next door to South Jordan, so you get to take advantage of the district. They just built a new shopping center where we go all the time called Mountain View Village. And there's 2 parts to it. And then they're still building more. And I'll show you that now. All right, so this big piece of land here is Riverton. So where they can build still is right in here, but they aren't building, I don't think, many homes. I think it's zoned commercial for the most part. But this is Mountain View Village, these 2 squares here. And so you got a bunch of shopping here from your TJ Maxx and Home Goods and Ross, and then Sierra and Burlington and Michael's, and there's a pet store and Famous Footwear, and then Harmon's grocery store. When you move here, you're either going to be a Harmon's fan or you're going to be a Smith's fan, because those are our 2 major grocery stores, other than Whole Foods and Sprouts. But for the most part, you're going to be going to one of those 2, or you're going to be going to Walmart or Walmart Grocer for shopping and food and stuff. But there's a ton of places in here, a lot of good food choices that are in here. Like there's this Ichiban place, which is not showing, but it's right here. And I'll go there all the time to eat. And then over here, we just opened a Shake Shack and a Panera Bread. So this is the first Panera Bread that's open, other than the one that was at the airport. And I used to say the only way to get Panera was to fly in the airport. So that they have these 2 restaurants here, Stack 571 and then Wildfin. And then they also have a Kona Grill that's right here that just opened. Kona Grill is great food. You definitely should try that. And then the best movie theater, I think, in the state of Utah is here. It's a Cinemark XD movie theater, which XD means they have the bigger screen and more seating. The best movie theater. I don't know why people don't go there more often, but it is awesome, and we go there all the time. My son used to work there until he decided to move on from there, but he really liked a lot of the things about his job there. There's a Las Botelas, which is like an upscale Mexican food place. Apparently they got Wagyu beef there, so we're going to eat there at some point here. But a lot of different shopping that's in here. These buildings here are now built out, so it looks different, but there's a Sherman-Williams here and then some other places that are coming in and a storage unit place. We used to have to come over here to the Walmart, and then you had Wingers, which is pretty good. Wingers, once again, is another place that you can eat that's good. Good food, nice staff and everything, and it's not busy, so you can typically get in there and eat when you want to. I don't know why more people don't eat there. There's a Chili's here. This is not the best Chili's to eat at. We've eaten there. I don't know, something about that Chili's. Chili's really needs to remodel it and update it, and then change a few things around. There's a Salsalitos here for one of the better Mexican places that we've tried. I don't think it's great. It's just not. It's okay, I guess. And then there's an Original Pancake House. This just opened. It used to be an IHOP. Original Pancake House, I think, has really, really good food. There's a Burger King and a few other little places in here. And then the Super Walmart. They have a pond here that you can fish at. That's our favorite place to go fishing. It's called the Danny R. Crump Fishing Pond, and it's closed from October through April. I really would love to get involved with the city and get them to leave that open year round. They gave me some spiel about the fish cleaning station. Well, South Jordan has lakes that are open, and they just they just tarp over the fish cleaning station. So that's seems to be a load of BS. They drain half of the lake supposedly and use the water elsewhere. Well, is it really that much water that we're saving or using elsewhere? I don't think so. It'd be better for us as citizens to be able to fish there. But it's super cool to fish at. It almost stretches over to I-15 as well. There's a golf course here that's really good. They have Lowe's and a Home Depot in Riverton, so you got that. And they have a Costco in this. So Riverton has a great amount of shopping as well. And then you can see right here, this is the district. So here's our reviews. Number 24 best suburb to raise a family. Well, we had a family and we lived in Riverton, and it was a great place. It wasn't anything to do with that and why we moved. Overall, they give it a B+. B+ public schools. We had kids in school there. Schools seemed really good. There were no issues with them. Schooling seemed pretty amazing, especially coming from California originally, where I felt the public schools were crappy. B- housing, A- good for families, A- for jobs, C- cost of living. Cost of living is a little higher in Riverton. A for outdoor activities, B for crime and safety, B- for nightlife, B for diversity, B for weather, A health and fitness. Health and fitness, I don't know why they give it such a high rating. You have to go somewhere to do most of your health and fitness. B for commute. So commuting wise, you're going to be jumping right on Bangerter for the most part, or taking some of the other surface roads around. They mention 44,000 people. They say median home value $397. They are way, way off on that. You're going to need to spend $600,000-ish to get a 4-bedroom home there. When we were looking at homes in Riverton, because we were looking at a bunch of the cities in this area, and the minimum home that we would move into was $650, and that gave you a 4-bedroom with a basement and anything sort of nice where they don't have some funky floor plan, or they were, I don't know. We have some really crappy homes here. I feel in Utah we have some really nice homes, but a lot of the ones in the less expensive price range, when you get under 600,000, have either a really, really small kitchen and then a small family room, but they're like tri-levels. So it'll say it's 3,000 square feet, but it'll have all 3 levels of 3,000, and then they're choppy, and you got your living room, or what they call the Mormon room, that wastes a bunch of your space. So you just have to know that, and hopefully you'll reach out to us and let us know what you're looking for so we can help with putting you in the right type of a home. But you're going to need to spend quite a bit more than $397. I don't even think you can get a townhome. We can get a condo for $397, but you're probably not even going to be able to get a townhome for $397 in Riverton. Best suburb to raise a family, number 24. Best suburb to live, number 30. And best suburb, the suburb with the best public schools, number 33. Crime and safety. As far as crime and safety goes, we saw no issues where we were in Riverton at all with anything as far as crime and safety goes. It felt a very safe city. So that kind of covers Riverton. Would I move back to Riverton? Absolutely, if we could find the right home in the right area. We have Nathan, who's finishing high school at Harriman High School, and then Chase is going into 9th grade, which is still at the middle schools here, which I hate. I really wish they would move you to the high school. I feel it kind of diminishes your high school path by you lose a year of it by being with middle schoolers, but that's what Utah likes to do. Next up is Sandy. So Sandy, Utah was one of the cities we looked at when we moved here. I came out here, I want to say 7 years ago now, for a real estate conference training session that was in Sandy. So I really enjoyed spending time in Sandy then, and I still go to Sandy quite often because it has a lot of shopping and restaurants in it as well. So Sandy is another one of our go-to areas other than South Jordan and West Jordan. So I would say we go to West Jordan, South Jordan, and Sandy the most, and then Draper followed after that. But Sandy has a ton of that sort of thing. Is Sandy a place I'd live? Sure, if I found the right neighborhood. We just went and bought a coffee table this past weekend off of KSL, and KSL is kind of like Craigslist here. And it was $35 for this cool coffee table where it raises up. It just needs to be sanded, and then my wife wants to stain it. So she's got a little bit of a project going, but for $35, it's pretty awesome, and they do delivered it as well. So that's cool. Let's show you Sandy now. So here's Sandy in red. It's right out one of the canyons to ski at Alta and Snowbird are right out here. So it's one of the closest ones to go out. Little Cottonwood Canyon. And then there's hiking and other things you can do out the canyon, which is really, really cool. It is close to Salt Lake City. I think you're about 20 minutes up the freeway, probably 30 minutes with traffic. And then you can go down the freeway to go to Provo and Lehigh. As far as if you worked in Lehigh, Sandy is a great place to live. They have a lot of different home prices in Sandy. So you're going to have your, $400,000 small home all the way up to your $2 million really nice home. And I'm sure they have some that are higher priced than that. But for what I've shown has been in the 450 range up to $1.5 million. So if you're looking for a home like that, love to help you out once again. As far as everything else that Sandy has, here's all your shopping. It has the shops at Southtown Mall, which I said it wrong in one of my videos, and then someone chewed me out for. They have a Costco right down here, and pretty much whatever you're looking for, Sandy has as far as shopping and restaurants. I think I got my daughter's cake at one of the bakeries in Sandy, and there's just a lot of good stuff. That's where when we were moving here, we stayed in Sandy at the Resident Inn Marriott there. Amazing place to stay, super cool, super friendly staff, great place for us to have chosen. But it has the Shields. If you've never heard of Shields, Shields is right here. And Shields is the place, I don't know, I think every dude would love Shields. And they added like a home decor area, maybe to appeal to women. But there's a lot of clothing choices too, but just all your outdoor stuff. So Shields is where we go to get fishing supplies that we don't get at Walmart. We'll go to Shields, like when we go buy a new fishing pole or new reel, and then I take my line to get restrung there as well when we do that. But Shields, you can spend an hour walking around. It's got a Ferris wheel inside. It's an epic place to go. It's super cool. Then there's a lot of restaurants and stuff near Shields that you can go, and other shopping. That's where we go to Best Buy if we're not going to the West Jordan one. Let's look at the reviews now. Sandy is the number 19 best suburb to live in Utah. It's really like a top 10, I think. I'm not sure what you need higher, but as far as location and proximity, if you want to ski, snowboard, hike, shop, Sandy has everything that you need. Overall, they give it an A-, for public schools. That I didn't do any research on, so I can't really speak to the public schools, but niche.com says they're good. B, housing, A-, good for families, A- for jobs, C- cost of living, A, outdoor activities, more like an A+ for outdoor activities, C+, crime and safety, B for nightlife, B+ diversity. It's got a big diverse population, I think. B- weather, A, health and fitness. Once again, A plus health and fitness, B plus commute. Probably more like an A minus commute because you're so easily accessible to the freeway. However, if you live closer to the mountains, it's not that great to get down to I-15. It takes you 10 minutes or 12 minutes or something like that to get to the freeway. Population, they're saying 96,000 people. So it's a bigger city. 418, more like, oh, what was that? 418 for the median home value, more like 500. You can still find a $450,000 home in Sandy, and you can also spend $2 million. So they have a wide range of home prices. Here's our other rankings. Best suburb for young professional, number 8. Best suburb for the best public schools, number 17. And the best suburb to live, number 19 in Utah. So I got those close, I guess. Here's your crime and safety stats. Looks like theft is really, really high, which once again, that leads to car theft mostly, like stuff in your car and then stuff left around, I think gets stolen quite a bit. And then motor vehicle theft. Interesting. I'll have to look that up more. So that covers Sandy. Would I live in Sandy? Sure. Sandy would be a great place to call home. We go there all the time. If I can find the right neighborhood. Next up on the list is Sugar House. Sugar House is a great city to call home. Let's show you where it is now. This is Sugar House. Its proximity to Salt Lake, 10 minutes away. You can Uber Lyft there easily. It is a great city. Lots of coffee shops, lots of bars, lots of other places for you to go. You can quickly get into Salt Lake City for everything else that you're after. It's got a walkability score that's great. A lot of the people that move there, it's got like, I don't know, more like a hipster kind of vibe to it. I've heard it's like one of the better cities here for young professionals. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I've heard. You could do more research on that yourself. Has a great golf course here for golfing. And then you're close to get out to Park City, probably the closest city that you're going to get out to Park City, out I-80. I go there quite often for a bunch of different, like I'll meet clients there or whatever. I haven't helped anyone move there as of yet. So if you're moving to Sugar House, let me help you buy something there. Let's look at the reviews. Number 4, best neighborhood to live in Salt Lake City. They give it an A. A for public schools, B for housing, A good for families, A minus for jobs, C minus cost of living, A for outdoor activities, C plus crime and safety, A plus nightlife, which you can't get better than it for the most part. B for diversity, B plus weather, A plus health and fitness, and A for commute. 42,000 people live there. They have the median home value way off. You're looking at more in the 650 range plus to live there. Best neighborhood to live in Salt Lake City, number 4. Best neighborhood to live or to buy a house. Best neighborhood to buy a house in Salt Lake City, number 5. Best neighborhood for young professional, number 6. So there you go. So that gives you a little bit of information about Sugar House. I have a video that I go more in depth on it. It's one of the more walkable towns, has lots of coffee shops and bars, and you're super close Uber ride into Salt Lake City. So that leads to that lifestyle. So if you're one of those people that like to, eat out all the time, not eat in, then Sugar House is a great location as far as that goes. Not that you can't make your own food, but the lifestyle seems to be people who, professional that work and that want to travel into Salt Lake City all the time and hit what new bars and clubs and that sort of thing. Next up on the list is Saratoga Springs. Saratoga Springs is a huge growing area. They're building lots of new construction there, from townhomes, condos, single family homes. It's in Utah County, so that has a different feel, and you got to figure out if you want to be in Salt Lake County or Utah County, and there's pluses and minuses to that. Let's show you where Saratoga Springs is. So here's Saratoga Springs. Lehigh's across the way here, so it's really close to Lehigh, butts up against it, south of Bluffdale. It's all right here, right along Utah Lake. So they are doing massive amounts of building all in this land that's available. So it still has a ton of more growth that it can grow as far as homes being built. and they're going to keep growing it. And then it has Eagle Mountain to the west. Overall, it's since it's growing, it's adding tons of new things, so it feels like a brand new city. Ratings wise, number 6 best place to raise a family in Utah County, A- overall. B for public schools, B housing, A- good for families, A for jobs, C- cost of living. Has anything been better than a C? I don't think so. A for outdoor activities. Oh, here's one. Crime and safety is a B here. B- nightlife, B- diversity, B plus weather, A health and fitness, and B for commute. So really it depends where you're working. If you commute into Salt Lake or to Provo, then Saratoga Springs isn't great. If you're commuting into Lehigh or some of the other cities around it, then it's not bad. Right now, going north on Redwood is not all that great in the morning or the afternoon for the commute. They mentioned 36,000 people, almost 37. Median home value 400, more like in the fives, unless you want a condo or townhome. Then you're still looking at 500,000 because we looked at Saratoga Springs. We couldn't get in there for any home that we liked for under 650. Other rankings: best suburb to buy a home in Utah, number 20. Best suburb to raise a family, number 20. And best suburb for young professionals, number 21. Crime and safety is a B. Here's your crime and safety stats. Everything, for the most part, is below the national average. So overall, Saratoga Springs, not a place that I would probably live myself, just because I like some of the other cities on the list much more than Saratoga Springs. But if you had family in the area or you were working in Lehigh, then I would consider Saratoga Springs. Next up is Highland, and Highland is a fabulous town. I will show you where that is now. So here's Highland. It's right next door to Lehigh, which is here. It's in Utah County. It is right next door to Alpine. Alpine would be very similar. So really had a hard time deciding between Highland and Alpine. And I just picked Highland because you're closer to Lehigh than Alpine. But they both have pluses and minuses to them over each other. Both of them, you can still get a decent sized lot to live in. I really like where they're located. Neither Alpine or Highland have really any sort of commercial stuff. You're really going to be going everywhere else to get pretty much everything that you need. But they're great, like bedroom communities. They are expensive to live in. You know, 700,000 doesn't get you a great home in Highland or Alpine. You're going to be spending more like 1.1 million or more to live in Highland or Alpine. So that you have the canyon here, which routes you out this way. We go out this canyon all the time because there's a jeeping area out here, and then there's a reservoir here that we've been at and fished. But they have the Tippecanoes Cave here, which is something I still need to go do. I meant to do it this year, and we just got too busy and didn't. Rankings. Highland is the number 1 best suburb to live in Utah. They give it an A. A for public schools. I've heard the schools are really good in Highland. B for housing. A plus, good for families. A for jobs. C minus cost of living. So they just give everybody a C for cost of living. A for outdoor activities. They don't mention crime and safety. I've heard there isn't any. B minus nightlife. C for diversity. B for weather. A plus health and fitness, and B plus commute. 18,000-ish people. Median home value. Wow, they have a median home value the highest so far, but it's higher than that, more like in the 8s and 9s for the median, I think. Other stats. Best suburb to live in Utah, number 1. Best suburb to raise a family, number 1. Best place to raise a family, number 2. So as you can see, it has some of the highest rankings that you're going to find in any city in the state of Utah is Highland, and you're going to be paying for that. Love to help you if you're wanting to make that move. Look at some homes in the Highland Alpine area. You're going to find that they are both very similar in rankings since they're right next door to each other, and they have kind of the same feel. There's a bunch of new construction there, and I have some videos on that you can see what luxury neighborhoods look like in both of those cities. And so that leads us into our last thing that I mentioned. I would tell you my favorite place and where I currently live, and that is Harriman. So Harriman is awesome. What I really like about Harriman is all the new construction that's here, all the new shopping and restaurants, and they're still building. They have a Winco. So if you like Winco, we loved it when we lived in California. They have a Costco where it's really, I feel like it's in Harriman, but it's in Riverton, but it's 5 minutes away for Costco. So we get gas there and then shop there for a lot of different things. They have that Mountain View Village that I showed you about, and that we go to all the time. There's the Harmons that's in there. If I go up 134, that's where the Smiths is, and there's a Jersey Mike's there. Harriman just has a lot of stuff, and it's a smaller town. It doesn't have, has maybe 50,000 people, so it's not tiny, but you have a range of things for homes. So you can buy a $450,000 condo all the way to a $8 million mansion home. You can get on acreage here. So there's people with horse property, there's people with bigger yards, smaller yards, whatever you're looking for, Harriman seems to offer. And that's one of the things that I really like about it, and the fact that it's still growing and it feels new. I wanted something that was new. It's right next door to Riverton, so everything I need in Riverton that they had, the super Walmart that's there, and all those other restaurants that I talked about. And then you're super close to South Jordan, so when we go to the district, that's like 10 minutes. When I want to go to West Jordan, that's 18 minutes away. So it would be one place that I would definitely, if you move here or thinking of moving here and you reach out to me, we would look at homes, a few homes in Harriman I'd throw on the list. So Harriman would be a place that I like to add a home or two for you to see what your money gets you in Harriman over some of the other cities. Just depends on where you're going to be working, what you're going to be doing, and we need to talk about all of that. So you got to reach out. So hopefully this video was helpful, gave you some ideas about different cities. We can talk about any other city. Like I didn't mention Draper. It's a great town. American Fork. Just lots of different cities I can't mention in the video. So if you need more information about any of these cities or any city I didn't mention, please reach out. I'd love to talk to you. I would be the one answering the phone right now. And until next time, be rad.